And just like that, we're here at Open Spaces Sports. Clint Cox and Aim Baird here for the junior varsity boys action. Kicking off the night tonight here in Almena as the Logan Palco Trojans have come to town, the rivals. They're going to go against Northern Valley, dressed in their 86 through 93 uniforms. What do you think of those, Mr. Aim Baird?
Yeah, the modern rendition of the throwback, right? They got the green bottoms, white tops. I like a little bit of a different look. It is different. They had their warm-ups on, and I thought maybe they were coming out in the all-greens. Owen Hammond with a nice pickpocket there and taking it to the hoop for the first score of this game.
Well, Aim, I'm going to let you run here a little bit because as you can tell on your scoreboard, maybe would have failed to get everything where it needed to be. They gave me a bit of new equipment. I went to Vegas, and now apparently I don't know what I'm doing. So
I don't know if that means that we got demoted or promoted, but we're going to figure it out here before too long and bring you the best action that we can along the way. That was a turnover there for the Logan Palco Trojans, and they give it right back.
As we're just into the first quarter of action, we are going to play an entire JV game here tonight, 4 quarters, 8 minutes long. Both teams had enough players that they could continue to bring us a lot of basketball here and get some development. This is the second game of the season for both of these junior varsity teams as Logan traveled to Wheatland-Grinnell in the first matchup and lost that JV contest. Northern Valley played Cheyenne in their first JV contest, and they won that, didn't they? Aim, we were here. I just failed to remember.
It was a half a game. I'm trying to remember how it went down. I do think that the Huskies came out victorious in that one. A nice 3 from the corner there for the Huskies. I can run through Logan Palco's starters here real quick since we just jumped right into the action. Starting on the floor for Logan Palco is number 1, Jamie Keller. He's a senior. Number 5 is Colton Atchison down there, a freshman. 13 is Tayden Gottschalk. Number 30, Carson Knipp. And number 41, the big man, Ty West. For the Huskies, who started this game, it was number 10, Maverick Rogers. Number 12, that's Caden Lowry. Number 15, Owen Hammond. Number 25 is Brody Preston. And number 34, getting the start for this game, is Clay Van Patten.
Some minutes will be filled here by Gavin Tallheim as well, a player for the varsity side of things for Northern Valley. I talked to Coach Ross Cole, the assistant over there. He said that he's going to play Gavin probably 2 quarters here as well as Owen maybe 2 quarters and see what happens with the rest of the guys down there. Gabe Rudd might even get a couple quarters.
Yep, you're allowed 6 quarters each night you come and play. So if you think you're going to get a little bit more time in that varsity game, they're going to want to save you for that as they want that depth over there. But you love to see it out here. We're going to get to play a full game in this one. Both teams have the depth to do so, and it's just such a valuable this time of year to get these full games in and get these minutes. So that way, as the season progresses and you need that depth a little bit more, you have guys who are kind of filling their roles and getting a little bit more comfortable out there on the hardwood.
So these are the kids that a lot of them did not play in their tournaments. Of course, Northern Valley was at the purple and gold, and Logan Palco was at the sagebrush, and those were varsity tournaments. So these JV guys have been itching at it. They've been having to practice this whole time, and just for their second action on the court.
Yeah, you said it best, but that's what makes both of these teams so good and competitive. And both these varsity squads did good in their respective tournaments to start the year. It's hard to do those early season tournaments because you're just kind of shaking off the rust, but that doesn't mean that you're just going to have cakewalks of both of these schools going against a lot of bigger rosters out west and south than sometimes we'll see here in the Valley. But both of these varsity teams did really well at their respective tournaments, and a lot of that is because these JV guys are putting in the work. Like you said, they're itching to get that playing time in games, but they're still putting in that hard work day in and day out against that varsity. Gabe Rudd did check into the game for the Huskies during that, as well as Jonah Black. Nice pump fake there and drive to the hoop. That's Buster States, a freshman, number 12. Preston on the wing, trying to feed it inside. Ball sticking in the hand a little bit too much for the Huskies early on. Nice runner there from Brody Preston, but it goes off the front of the iron. Can't be saved by the Logan Palco Trojans. It'll stay here with the Huskies. Here, you have your board back. I need my hand.
Oh, I appreciate it. I was trying to figure out, as you can clearly see, this is not how the scoreboard is designed to operate. Deep three-quarter, bang, Brody Preston. Whew, that's a tough shot, Aim.
That is one of the hardest shots you can have. You have no angle of that backboard right there, which really, it's make or miss. You got to be sure with your shot there, and it was nothing but net from Mr. Preston.
Tough defense here by the Trojans. Inside goes Hammond. Around back to Black now. Brody opening in. He's got to be ready to put that up. Gabe Rudd, of course, spent those years in Logan with a turnaround jump over West, and no good on that end of it.
Yeah, and Coach Cole and Coach Sides both want to see Gabe Rudd. He was not able to play much football, or he didn't even go out for football because he had dealt with injuries in the past and had to deal with it a little bit in the last season as well. But it's good to have him back here, and you can see he's starting to try to get to his true form again. Swatted that ball into the wall over there.
A true form would be right, because there's not a basketball that gets shot that Gabe Rudd does not think he can block.
No, I asked Ross Cole before that JV game the last time they came out, and I said, who's one of your players that we need to watch this year who you think is going to take that next step? And he said Gabe Rudd, primarily on the defensive side, has really been showing out. Good shot there. That's going to be Buster States again. Or excuse me, that was Tayden Gottschalk. But he said that he went in, they did a little practice jamboree before the year started to try to get some scrimmage time in. And again, and a little practice against Phillipsburg, he had 3 block shots in 4 minutes of play, which is pretty unheard of for someone to have 3 block shots in an entire game of play, but he did it in no time at all.
Maverick Rogers coming in here for the Huskies. Looks like going out will be Jonah Black, as we got ourselves a little ball game here. This JV action, they know how to play Logan Northern Valley type. Don't matter for varsity or junior varsity.
Yeah, like you said, top to bottom, boys and girls, we're going to have a lot of good action here tonight in the Valley. Every time these teams come together, you just know it's going to be an energy-filled basketball environment from the start to finish of the evening. Maverick Rogers getting upon that one, but Gottschalk gets it back, drives to the hoop, and swatted away once again by Gabe Rudd, using that vertical of his to just rise above the ball shooter. That's a tough task for anybody, and a little bit of size disadvantage there for Tayden Gottschalk, but props to him for taking it hard to the hoop anyway.
That ball off of States and over to Northern Valley of Falls.
Yeah, tough one to kind of handle right there, as it was a little bit low and he was streaking across the floor. You got to get that one right on the numbers.
Aim, you're doing a great job, buddy.
Yeah, you're doing a great job too. You keep cleaning it up over there. It's looking nice.
Trying.
Owen Hammond gets the ball poked away, but it will stay with the Huskies there on the far side. Maverick Rogers in the corner will fire this one quickly, but had to hurry his shot a little bit, short arm that one, and didn't get it in. Trojans with it now. Atchison tries to feed it inside. That was Jamie Keller. He was trying to get that ball too. Logan Palco looking to space the floor out a little bit more there, and they hear Coach Katz yell it out, and they do finally do that. Ty West using that big frame inside, a little too much juice on that one. It goes over the backboard and out. But, that's what the presence of Gabe Rudd does. They've seen those 2 block shots, and he knows who's behind him, and he got to do a little bit extra to try to get that shot going in. So even when he's not blocking shots, he's making a difference.
Well, West, with that great big body frame of he's got there, he just needs to turn into him and actually go into the shot blocker. That's the other way to get through
Nice
to get through a shot blocker
Preston.
is to go through his body. Just kind of like Brody did right there. Just went right through everybody.
Yeah, that was a smooth move by Brody Preston. We talked about Rudd getting back to form. It's good to see Brody Preston getting those minutes. You see that knee sleeve brace down there. He had a knee injury this last year, but he was able to get back to football. But he's finally starting to kind of get into basketball shape again and get that confidence back out here, and he could be a key contributor for the Huskies for this season.
Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. They get the ball into Lowry. Now back out Brody Preston. Kaboom! That's 2 tonight from deep from Brody.
And he heard me say that, and he proved me right. Usually it's the opposite when I say something, right? When
That's
an announcer says something.
Northern Valley on a little bit of a run here right at the end of the quarter. And now a whistle will go against Lowry as he was trying to play defense out top.
Yeah, got caught flat-footed there on the high post as States was doing a nice job putting that ball on the floor and driving around him. You got to be on the balls of your feet there and able to move with the ball handler, or they're going to get you every time. Gottschalk
playing it in here with 25 to go. Now a double dribble.
Is rightfully called by Carson Knipp there.
I do think we have another problem here, Aim.
What's that?
I think I only have Oakley commercials at the moment.
Going to hear a lot about mittens in this one.
Not a lot of people that use it, but we seem to be traveling west all the time, so maybe they'll get more play than normal.
Yeah, more to Colby than Oakley, but I suppose.
Nice swing into the basketball. 3-2. Will Owen Hammond have time to get it up? He gets it off, and it is no good.
Your agriculture needs.
Second quarter action here at Open Spaces Sports. Clint Cox and Aim Baird. Northern Valley with a 14-8 lead, and I'm going to try and unplug the scoreboard here for a little bit. That's a great move inside there by States. Will score that one and hopefully get us some commercials. So we're going to eliminate the scoreboard here for just a bit. And that means you're back on the air, big guy.
Yeah, you bet. A couple of new faces checked in. They're at the quarter break, and that's what we talked about. We see Gavin Tallheim bringing in his first minute of play here, as well as Stanley DeWitt for the Trojans. Both of those guys are going to get a lot of key minutes on the varsity side of things as well. So I would expect to see them only play 2 quarters of this game, but their coaches are going to want to get those guys in there because they can be scoring machines on both the JV and varsity side. Preston just off the mark on that one. But Gavin Tallheim making an impact early in this one. The good kick-out pass, and he drops it in from deep. This is Gottschalk now. Trying to find a place to go is Jamie Keller, and he does. Back over to Gottschalk, deep 3 here, a little long. Controlled by the Trojans. They'll get another look at it. Knipp with the now. Another, just a little too strong on those shots. Good looks, but not able to hit the mark. Tallheim finds himself too far underneath the rim, but he's making life hard for Gottschalk, and he's going to pick up the foul. Too much body after he kicked that ball loose the first time around.
I had to call in the backups. Good thing for remote access here for the good guys.
The professionals. We're just here to be the face, right? The face.
That's why they don't let our faces be on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Keep it where it's good. And basketball is always better than us.
No doubt about it. Another inbound look for the Trojans. Nice look there. They do fire one away, and it's just long again. That was Buster States. Preston going coast to coast with that. Stanley DeWitt comes in, and
DeWitt made a great play on that basketball.
Great play on that ball. I don't know what this call is. Oh, they're going to say it went out on the Huskies there on the out-of-bounds line, I believe.
Preston went all the way to the rim, but did not anticipate DeWitt coming over and blocking that one.
Yeah, DeWitt's got a nice wingspan on him. It's really hard.
Do they have a height
around
on him?
Stanley DeWitt, let's see.
6'2". He looks taller than that.
Yeah, that's kind of Coach Delmont over there and Coach Katz, they got a lot of guys who are built like Stanley DeWitt right now. 6'2", long, lean, and it makes scoring around those guys really hard, but it also makes them prolific slashers.
Look at the strong play by Caden Lowry underneath. He was fighting for that basketball with Knipp, and Lowry out-muscles him and got a jump ball out of it. Northern Valley gets it back.
That's right. Rewarded the ball because of the possession arrow. Tries to kick the ball out to Clay Van Patten. Goes through his hands and out of bounds. Will give the ball back to Logan. Jonah Black checks into the game for the Huskies. Clay Van Patten will take a seat. Gottschalk sets up the offense. States trying to find a place to go with it. Gavin Tallheim, if you give him the opportunity, will take that the other way in no time. Ball is tipped out of bounds by the Huskies, so Ty West gets the opportunity to come back into this game.
So what do you think of this fit, as the kids like to call it these days?
The white on green?
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, if you want to know the honest truth. Maybe I'm more of a traditionalist. But I was always a fan of the all whites. Those were my favorite to wear when I was playing. So, kind of looks nice.
I don't mind it, man.
Well, I can't say. I mean, like I said, K-State will do it sometimes with the dark purple and the lavender on top. So maybe that's where the inspiration comes from. But still, when I watch K-State, I like their all whites.
Oh, I love the lavender look. Do you suppose Northern Valley can implement like a lime green look, or would that just
be a little too Oregon?
Would that be just too pickle?
A little too Oregon-y there.
Inside Tallheim with a great feed from Brody Preston, put it in.
You need like an Easter egg green, that kind of weird pastel.
Pistachio type.
There you go.
Yes.
With the dark green outline.
Now we'll see if
listen to us, Jesse.
Somebody get John Reuter on the phone. See if we can get some pastel green uniforms out.
Might need to see a prototype first. This could be an awful idea.
I think it falls under that category.
You know what I want to see more of, and I was thinking this the other day. I want to see more. All the colleges are bringing back the script font on the front of jerseys. I want to see more of that throughout the high schools.
And a new fit, really, I believe, in the Logan Palco Trojans. Do you think that they had those last year?
I think they brought them out later in the year. I think I remember seeing them at the league tournament. But obviously now Logan and Palco wanting to implement both of the color schemes of those schools who play together. So they got the Kansas City Chief vibes down there without the heartache. The red and yellow. Jonah Black face guards Keller. He gives it to Ty West on the point. Huskies doing a nice job not giving too much room for these ball handlers.
19-10, Northern Valley in the lead. They get it to DeWitt. Turns. Should have had the bucket. Lowry got him on the arm. He'll have to go to the free throw line to prove it with two of his own.
And you could hear the bench over there for Logan Palco shouting, throw that ball in, as that was a play that they had designed for Mr. DeWitt to get a look there, and it worked out well. It wasn't the bucket at the end of that shot, but getting him to the line and getting him rolling could be just what they need.
After a first quarter where they put up 8, the second quarter they've been slow to get points up on the board. And that free throw is just off. Maverick Rogers will chase that rebound down, and Gavin will set the offense against the zone defense here by the Trojans. Over to Preston, who's had a couple good looks. Now inside, Van Patten tries to go to Lowry and is picked off by DeWitt, and here comes the Trojans. Nice feed inside. Gottschalk dumped it off and put it in.
And you always like to
with
see the
Jamie
bucket.
Keller.
You always like to see the bucket go down if you're the man with the saucy assist, like Gottschalk was right there, as it was such a nice play, and it's good to be rewarded with it, with the bucket. Another runner by Preston, and he's going to go to the line. It's going to be an and-one opportunity, and he is playing really nice ball right now.
Sorry, Aim.
You're all right. And he makes good on the classic three-point play. Aiden Keith will check into this game for the first time this evening. Caden Lowry to take a break.
Can you believe I just answered a spam call on air?
Next time we're putting it on air, and we'll give them the runaround.
We should. I mean, actually, I thought it was somebody else. Otherwise, I would have completely ignored it. And I would.
Like was big man Ty West as they split the two defenders.
West with an easy bucket just when they needed it. Cut the lead to 7 for Northern Valley. Swing over to Gavin Tallheim, shooting about 40% from 3 in the varsity action. It's just long on that one. Gottschalk, just a freshman. This kid's going to develop. His body will do nothing but get bigger and stronger. Ripped by Brody Preston. He'll go the other way. Floated up and bounce around and in.
Everything is falling. When you're hot, you're hot. You know the shooter's touch is a real thing.
And Brody Preston, yes, he is a senior, and yes, he's dominating this junior varsity action, but he is trying to earn minutes onto the varsity side of things too. And you gotta play hard out here, and you gotta show what you can do. Right at West he goes, lays it up, no good. Shot it over West and DeWitt. Gottschalk with a nice pass inside to West. Turn, uses that body. Oh, right, buddy. I told you about Mittens, right?
Mittens wanted to be known. DeWitt will find himself at the free throw line once again. That's going to be the 5th foul on the Huskies this quarter. So this year, it's a little bit different. It's not 7 fouls and then 1 and 1 and 10 fouls and you're in the double bonus, but rather each quarter, once your team gets to 5 fouls, the other team automatically goes into that double bonus. And I'm still confused why, but, you know, maybe people just got tired of the old thing and it was stale. You kind of told me it was because of Hack-a-Shack, but you don't really see that a lot. Which is excessive fouling of a less than average free throw shooter to try to slow down an offense. Tallheim gets the board. Huskies looking to swing this ball around quickly and find Preston in the corner. Nice floater from him, doesn't go. Ty West ends up with it as Lowry couldn't wrangle that one up.
Under a minute to go, 24-16, Northern Valley in the lead as Gottschalk sets and gets his offense a-rolling. Trying to feed the big man Ty West, who's had a pretty good second quarter, put it all on the ground. Now a great jump shot there by Gottschalk. DeWitt with an offensive board. Now we're at 30 seconds to go in the half. Scoop shot, no good. Here comes the Tallheim. Gavin will turn, spin, drop it for Lowry. Great pass, but he couldn't make the bucket.
Rushed it just a little bit there.
And I know you don't have a score clock, so there's 15 to go here. Logan's looking for a shot. Now 11. DeWitt will fire a 3. Just short on that. Gavin's got the ball with 6. He's at half court. Doesn't realize it. Now he does. Crossover will pull. No, he'll pass. There's Brody off glass. No good.
It doesn't fall, though, because we tend to forget to bring you the details like the scoreboard.
You know, we got there eventually.
We're too busy talking about pistachio-colored.
Now, it wasn't really our fault.
Unis.
Mav's going to shoot that 3 right off glass. No good.
Yeah, I have no regrets.
No regrets either.
No regrets. No carry. Stayed on top of the ball there.
Strong play by Lowry. Will get it back for the Huskies. As you can tell, Sides was not going to call that. Every time it looks bad, it's not always the case. Sides was always tired of looking bad and getting a whistle that wasn't true. Brody Preston from the corner again. Third 3 of the game.
Yeah, it's good to see Preston come out of the break and not cool off at all if you're the Huskies, because he has really shown out here in this first half and the start of this third quarter now.
Knepp fed Keller inside, no good. Northern Valley will go the other way.
Rogers on the wing.
Lowry out top. Brody Preston thought about it. Now will penetrate into that zone defense. Come back out. Owen Hammond open for the corner three is going to be just long. Good fight for that ball as Lowry got a hand on it, kicked it over to Preston. Northern Valley doing a good job on the offensive boards, getting multiple shots up each possession.
Yeah, and that's where you really start to thrive as an offense is when you're shooting well. Obviously, that's number one, is seeing the ball go through the hoop, but giving yourself multiple opportunities is pivotal to really putting a game in your favor.
Keller fighting inside through Van Patten, and he'll go to the line to shoot two as Van Patten got him on the arm.
I was kind of waiting for someone to pick up the call as Keller was starting to get bear hugged down low. Gabe Rudd is going to come back into the game for the Huskies. We did not see him in that second quarter of action.
Sides decided he wasn't shooting that basketball, so they'll have to play it in from underneath. Working it inside, they'll find Knipp. One strong dribble and shot is up, no good. Gottschalk battling for a rebound. It'll be off of Brody Preston and over to the Trojans.
They'll line up for a similar look down low. West just being a bowling ball down there, just pushing his way. And if you're not going to be strong in the paint, that's going to happen every time. And he didn't make the first bucket, but he cleared the way for his teammate.
Colton Atchison cleaned up that mess, put it in. The freshman.
Ball's poked away by Gottschalk, stays with the Huskies.
With some sweet shoes, by the way. I do like the colorful look.
Yeah, nice shoe game down there.
But I didn't know you could get away with any green on your shoe being from Logan.
It's teal. It's teal.
Gabe Rudd fires the three ball, no good. West with a rebound, getting tormented by a couple of Huskies there. Gets it back over to Gottschalk.
Yeah, Gottschalk did a nice job going and helping out his big man to get that ball before those Huskies got it away from West.
Inside the ball goes. Shot is up by Keller, no good. Gabe Rudd out with it, 3-on-1. Gabe will go up and through the defense, but he didn't get the ball over the rim.
Yeah, just needed a little bit more control there, maybe one more dribble, because he's actually got the vertical to get up above the rim on there. Might have just thought about it a little too hard.
Going baseline is Atchison again. Might have got away with got another foul, but he put the basket in anyway.
Atchison with 2 quick buckets here in this third. Be nice to get another shooter going for the Trojans.
It's just a 7-point game now as Northern Valley was in control early. Now Brody Preston will float it up inside for Rudd. Puts it up and in. And then Rudd runs over Atchison. He kind of churned and caught him in the chin. I don't know if I can get the replay button fast enough or not.
Nothing
wasn't malicious.
You just don't want to be in the way of Rudd.
Yeah, our replay button
starting
is
that run.
Way slow. Yeah, he just kind of churned, and it wasn't his elbow. It was his
shoulder.
It's his shoulder.
Yeah, just wrong place, wrong time there for Atchison.
You'll have to remind me, that replay button is long.
Still set for football season.
It might be. Push on Van Patten. The Trojans will play it in off the baseline, but
yep, just got to move your feet with that ball carrier or handler. See, I'm still in football mode too.
Just make sure you line up on sides, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Gottschalk fires a three, no good.
Too soon, Clint.
It was?
For me.
Oh.
No.
Well, everybody knows I got a house full of ladies. I wasn't even watching the Chiefs game.
You didn't miss anything.
Apparently I didn't waste a couple hours. I still haven't even seen the actual play. I've just seen all the memes that have shown up of someone being offsides.
Yeah.
Into the middle of the lane goes Hammond. He'll foul, and it looks like he's going to put it on the floor, says Big Al. So they'll throw it in bounds from underneath with Van Patten. West out, DeWitt in. Inside, they'll quickly go to Rudd. Hot feed out to Preston, who was trying to float into space. Gabe kind of threw it behind him.
It wasn't a bad idea, just they were not on the same page with it.
Knipp.
This game is kind of just lingering at that 9.7 point mark, isn't it?
It kind of is. Northern Valley just, every time they get to this point, they're not putting their intensity up and strong, as Cats will call timeout. And us here tonight, of course, we'll warm the building up with the junior varsity boys action. It's going on right now. We're in the third quarter. Northern Valley with a 9-point lead. But feature matchups later on. Brody Preston with a rip, and he'll put the layup in. And another wrong place, wrong time.
Tough that it was Atchison again taking another inadvertent hit after the Husky make basket.
So Owen Hammond goes up to a follow, and I don't know how or why. Oh, and he gets ripped with a foul.
Yeah, not really sure what he was following.
He wanted a dunk.
He wasn't high enough.
That's correct.
So kind of just a silly foul. Anyway.
Inside they'll find States. He was fouled on the floor.
Jonah Black wasn't able to get in front of him when that pass came in, so he will pick up the foul.
Fourth foul there by the Huskies. The next one will put them into the 2 free throw shots on their next whistle. And Aiden Keith smothering defense over there. About got one. Back to Gottschalk, trying to go between his legs. Now Hammond's got it ripped. Going to go through the smaller player, but he missed it. And a great play by Rudd, but Rudd was standing out of bounds. That's a great call, Big Al.
Yeah, I think what it looked like to me is Rudd actually got the Logan player, but then when it came back out of bounds, Rudd was the one that landed there.
Here it is. Let's watch it because it's fun. Yeah, he's standing out of bounds when it goes off his leg. The old man still got it.
Yep. As sure as they come.
Confident with that call as well, which is just what you want. Brody Preston with another rip of the basketball. Going to go 3-on-1. Put it up and put it in.
And they will count the basket. He'll get a chance to go to the line for an attempt at his second and one opportunity of the night.
To go along with those 3 bombs that he's got already tonight. I do not have stats on him, but he is the leading scorer here for Northern Valley in this one. Rattles no good, but Owen Hammond with an offensive board. Brody Preston wants a 5-point trip, but he forgot to put it through the rim. It was nothing but net, wasn't it?
Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Tip inside to West. Double team quickly by Hammond. Now they'll have to kick it out and go back around. Northern Valley, Gabe Rudd, watch out. You better get this on film. As he was thinking about going up and throwing it down, I know it was. The Northern Valley bench got excited.
Yeah, usually you don't hear an ah after a made basket, but everyone was waiting for fireworks there. Atchison with a nice runner off the glass.
The over-under in JV dunks this year is 1 by an unnamed sport-jacketed coach on the sideline.
What did we set it at for the varsity?
2.
We have 0 so far?
We have 0 so far.
The season is young.
The season is young, but this game is getting closer as we're just nearing 1:20 to go here in the third quarter. Gabe Rudd swats that one, but got a little too much arm. DeWitt will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, tough right there because he initially got ball but came down a little too aggressive after that block, and after he hit ball, he kind of went through DeWitt as well. If he would have stayed a little more straight up, it just would have been talking about a really nice block shot. DeWitt rattles the first one home. Substitutions coming into the game for both sides here. Maverick Rogers checks in for the Huskies. And for the Trojans, it's going to be Jamie Keller and Tayden Gottschalk. Next shot up and good as well for DeWitt. High arcing free throws looking nice out of the hands.
Mav looking for where to go with it. Gottschalk's got his hands on it and a rip, and he's heading the other direction. Nice little Euro, but a great play by Mav.
Yeah, really good hustle there by Maverick Rogers. Even though he got his pocket picked there, he wasn't going to let Gottschalk just have an easy look at it.
Inside, Keller's got it. Turnaround jump shot away is long, no good. Brody Preston comes away. Now he'll push the ball forward to Hammond. Hammond, pump fake, good move. Will go through the defense, and great defense there by DeWitt. Because Northern Valley had an easy one. To speak about an easy one, there's a rip and a no score by Owen. He's missed 2 bunnies here tonight.
Yeah, tough right there.
Now Keller will give it back to Owen. Slow it up this time and wait for his teammates. Crossover dribble between the legs now over to Brody Preston. Off the screen, it'll go into the corner to Hammond. Pump faking around. Baseline jumper was no good. Ran down by Gottschalk.
Hammond has had a couple of nice looks here in this third quarter, but unable to get that lid off the basket. But you got to just keep shooting that because he's had really nice opportunities.
With 8, now 7, now 6 to go into the middle. Goes States. That'll go long, no good. Rudd's got it. Now he's looking to go full court. Has it bobbled. Fourth quarter coming. Fourth quarter action begins now. Quickly, Gottschalk goes in. Nice little dime over here to DeWitt. Fouled by Hammond. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, nice. I love the pace out of the break from Gottschalk, not wasting any time as they find themselves down 11, and he knows that they've got the horses, that they can still make this definitely a game. And a really good look there and feeding the ball to DeWitt. Nice pump fake, knowing that he's got the high jumper and Owen Hammond playing defense.
Well, DeWitt and Hammond go neck and neck in the high jump.
Same number, same, a lot of the same traits from those guys. Both of them really good athletes, both on the court, the field, and the high jump mat, I guess.
Van Patten's 3 is on the way. Long, no good. Just in a 10-point ball game here as you're kind of figuring Gabe Rudd's night is done. Gottschalk to the rim, no good, but they did bring in Gavin Tallheim to play the fourth quarter. That's a calming sensation if you're assistant coach Ross Cole. Over to Gavin. Other side, they'll swing it to Preston. I thought that one was going down. It did look smooth off his hand.
It did look smooth. Preston has cooled off a little bit here after storming out of the gates at halftime in a scorching hot first half, but you still don't want to leave him open.
West missed it because Hammond got a piece of it. Gavin will set this against the 2-3 defense of the Trojans. They've been in it all night. Big-bodied West down there doing a good job cutting off the baseline from Hammond. Maverick Rogers with a three-pointer. No good. Offensive rebound Hammond, but Gottschalk picked his pocket. Logan will keep that one as it went off of Hammond. Larry going to check in. Owen Hammond will sit. On the top, there's Gottschalk. Full pressure defense by Northern Valley. It's been something Logan hasn't handled all that well here tonight. If you was going to point at one thing.
Maverick Rogers right there with the ball pressure there, getting just enough of that to hit it off of Keller and give it back to the Huskies.
They've got a lot of turnovers out of the guards from Logan, and this will stay here as DeWitt knocked it out of Preston's hands. It'll be interesting to see whether in the varsity action, Coach Delmont employs as much zone defense here as the junior varsity has played.
Right. Well, that 2-3 zone worked out pretty well for Logan Palco there at the second half of last season. There was kind of a switch that got flipped when they switched over from their man-to-man to that zone, as they've got enough long athletes that they're able to really work side to side in that paint and make life hard for the perimeter guys, which a lot of times you don't see when you're in that 2-3 zone, is you have a lot of teams that can't get out to the perimeter to get on shooters. But Logan is able to do that because they have the length and the speed.
DeWitt's foot touched the line. It'll go back over to Northern Valley. Knipp comes in.
Still sitting in a 10-point ball game with the Huskies at 35. Logan Palco 25.
Gavin's three from the corner, no good. Van Patten was there for the rebound, but forgot to grab it. Gottschalk. Don't pick that ball up. Atchison will fire the three. That was a good look. Lowry comes away with the rebound. Now to Brody Preston. Cherry picking is Van Patten, and he'll put it in.
Yeah, you get rewarded when you find yourself down the floor ahead of the defense there, whether it was, hustle or right place, right time, but Clay Van Patten working to get in front of that defense.
Nice hustle by Mav to keep that ball into play. It's Northern Valley into that 2-3 defense at the moment. Van Patten trying to get a foul. West with an easy bucket inside. Northern Valley was kind of like Swiss cheese on that defensive stand.
Yeah, and you think going to that 2-3 zone, that's probably what they were trying to avoid, is that exact look right there. But Logan Palco did a really nice job slicing and dicing that zone.
A really good Swiss cheese has some big holes in it.
It does. It does.
Into the middle with a floater is good. I like the shot, and just like that, we might be back into a ball game.
That's right.
Brody into the middle. His floater is no good. West secures the rebound. Great hustle by Lowry.
Knipp calls for it on the wing.
With a big bucket here, they can cut it to a two-possession game. Gottschalk thought about a three, dribbled in, now has it muddied up, but he's the fastest kid on the court. He got back to it. I think Gottschalk's got to be ready to shoot this three on the outside when they swing it back. And a foul will go against Maverick Rogers. And with the new rule, a foul in that position puts the ball right underneath the lane. It's not necessarily a new rule, it's a new rule emphasis.
Since people were doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Probably.
If they were properly putting it there, but a lot of spots were improperly done.
It was just inconsistent. They're trying to make more consistency in the game, which is kind of what they were emphasizing there.
3 minutes to go, Northern Valley up 8.
Lowry in the short corner.
Gavin Tallheim with Aiden Keith and Jonah Black. Caden Lowry and Maverick Rogers in the Northern Valley bench giving a lot of grief to Gavin, who had a quick trigger there.
Yeah, it was a little drafty in here on that shot.
A little drafty, or I don't know. He wasn't close, let's put it that way.
DeWitt.
Great pass from DeWitt.
Himself.
Oh, and Gavin is lucky that one does not go.
Yeah, West with a really nice power dribble there to get around the defender. Everyone just lost him. Nobody had eyes on West on the backside block, and he does a really nice job taking it to the hoop and getting to the line.
Big free throws for the big man, puts the first one in. Ty West is 6'2". He's been a pest for Northern Valley here in this junior varsity action. Gavin will get the rebound, and the clock is your best friend, Gavin, with a 7-point lead.
Yep, you don't need to be in any hurry here, but it goes through Jonah Black's hand, and that'll be what Logan Palco needs right now, is more opportunities on the offensive side.
Buster States checking in, and West will sit. 2:25 to go, 7-point game. Just need a bucket. Doesn't have to be a three, just need a bucket. And there's a good run by Knipp. It was fouled by Maverick Rogers. Yep. He's going to go to the line for 2. Good move. Got himself freed up. If I can get to the replay, I want to hit it because it was a nice, sweet step to the left.
Yeah, and it was one of those looks that, if you're the Husky defenders, you just want to go straight up there because that's a tough shot, and if he makes that, you just kind of have to tip your hat to the shooter. He makes the first free throw. Huskies have 4 team fouls here in this fourth quarter, so any more will send the Trojans to the line.
Trojans go 2 for their last 4 at the line. Otherwise, this is a really squeaky tight game.
It is a 2-possession ball game once again.
Maverick Rogers in the corner, fadeaway baseline jumper, no good. Here comes the Trojans.
Under 2 minutes.
Gavin went for a steal. Atchison went to the rim. He was fouled by Keith. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, I think they missed the initial foul that was supposed to be on Lowry, but Keith made sure that he got to the line anyway.
Atchison's first is no good, and reinforcements coming in off the Northern Valley bench. Brody Preston, who's led them in scoring so far, and Clay Van Patten, who had that 1 bucket, will replace Maverick and Jonah. Second one is good. They stick with that 50% from the line, but now it's a 5-point game with 1:46 to go.
This Trojan team as a whole has done a really nice job being patient and slowly grinding their way back into this one, which has to do with you have to play solid defense on one side, and you got to find those good looks on the other. And they're getting contributors from everyone. They do give the ball back to the Huskies there, and this is where you want to see kind of the leadership from Gavin hold on to that one, but he does give it to Clay. They fire one up and give the ball back to the Trojans.
And a 5-point game and a drag of his pivot foot by Gottschalk.
Yeah, that's a tough one that just comes with a little bit more experience.
I saw
you see
what
the freshman right there.
I saw what he saw. He had States open.
And the window closed, though.
But the window closed, and he knew he shouldn't throw it, and his foot just kind of drug through it. 5-point game. They're going to try and swing it all the way into the corner for Brody Preston. Been hot from there. Let's see if it continues. It does not. But an offensive rebound by Tallheim. Tried to get it over to Keith, but he ended up just throwing it out of bounds.
Man, I would just really like to see some more patience from the Huskies.
Reduce risk, save money. Get your own Perk checking account. Know that today and every day, First National Bank and Trust is here for you.
And a travel right when they needed it. The possession the most. Coach Katz had something drawn up. His boys could not execute it. And now we're under 45 seconds to go in this one. Northern Valley with a 5-point lead. Into the corner for Tallheim. Could have been called for a little travel on a gather step there. Wasn't. Brody trying to secure this basketball and dribble this time away. There is no shot clock. Van Patten open. Toes on the line for 2. No good. Long rebound back out to Keith. Into the corner it goes for Keith.
Coach Cole, I imagine, during that break said, let's be a little bit more patient, guys. The clock is our friend.
And a block shot, and now a foul by Van Patten with 5-point lead. Ooh.
And that's where that new rule comes into play. DeWitt gets to go to the line with no time coming off the clock here.
Gonna shoot 2. The clock, if he makes them both, the clock will not start till it's thrown in. Northern Valley's got to secure the inbound pass. DeWitt makes the first. He's doing his work so far. He's got to make this one, too, to make it a one-possession game. DeWitt's second one on the way, and it is good. And a timeout here by Coach Katz. He's going to apply the pressure. First tight game here for Coach Ross Cole. We'll see what he draws up. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Stephen Cox and Associates of Long Island, Kansas wish the Northern Valley Huskies good luck this year. Stephen Cox Association and its employees value good sportsmanship and are committed to the athletic and academic success of the students of Northern Valley. Go Huskies from Stephen Cox and Associates.
Back here at Open Spaces Sports, the junior varsity game is cut to a one possession with 6.9 seconds to go. Assistant coach, head coach for this junior varsity action, Ross Cole, in charge here, barking out his signals. Been calm, cool, and collected over there, Aim.
Yeah, this is really good game time experience for both Coach Cole and these JV squads. As you know, this game is coming down to the wire, and they got to be able to put this one away. And this is one of those situations where Coach Katz over there is drawing up his best pressure, and the Huskies need to find a way to get this in.
They do. They get it to Lowry, and he was fouled there by States. Caden Lowry is got just the first foul against Logan. They are a little late to the party. They got to get a steal. The fouls will not win this game for them. They got to steal the ball, and they do. Knepp had it for a little bit, and it'll go back over to the Trojans. They have a timeout here by Coach Katz with 1.5. He can draw up a 3-ball to tie this one up.
You bet. They get the ball underneath, and this is where they've done a lot of damage this game is on their inbounds plays.
Well, see what my favorite thing is in all of coaching.
What's that?
Does it click in his head that we got a foul here?
Just foul them so you don't give up the three?
They do not get a shot at the three.
The old Jim Boeheim special.
I love it. That's the way I would coach 100% of the time. I would make them go to the line, make one, miss one, and put it back in rather than get one shot, one look at it. We'll see what happens. We'll see how he does it.
Yeah, and another reason they do that is because almost nobody practices missing a free throw to get it back. We do practice shooting threes, and they got some good shooters over there for Logan Palco as well. So it will be interesting to see what the strategy is coming out of this break here.
Coach Katz is down there with the head coach Michael Delmont, figuring out what they're going to run here to get the three-pointer off. Northern Valley will run out here with Aiden Keith, Maverick Rogers, Clay Van Patten, and Jonah Black. No threes. You don't want to give up a three here with 1.5 to go. Here we go, Aim. DeWitt to throw it in. Atchison covered up by Black. Nowhere to go. Now he gets it. A great look for Gottschalk. The three's away and no good. Good draw up of a play. That's what you wanted to do, but Gottschalk couldn't connect. We'll hit the replay button real quick because they fought hard to get back in it. Atchison was quickly covered up by Black. Gottschalk found himself free. Good look at it, just a little long. The freshman will have another opportunity as he grows up to make some big shots against Northern Valley. I can guarantee.